Hi, this is Margaret Humphreys. I'm the Director of the Academic Success Center here at HBU, and today we're going to learn about how to outline in writing an essay. Learning how to outline is a key factor that will help you to be successful. If you've already watched the presentation on how to get started, you would have realized that this is a step in the writing process. So we're going to go into a little bit more detail here. First of all, when you're organizing a research paper, it's important, one, to have note cards available. As you read through journals, books, and articles, use the note cards and write down the facts or information in your own words. You want to make sure you don't plagiarize. Two, label each source with a letter or a number. That helps you to label the sources so you don't have to rewrite the title of the article or book on the top of each note card. That's a waste of your time and energy. So as you can see the example on the side, they put source number 2. Make sure to have a notebook or some type of Word document on your computer that you write out. This is source number 2. This is source number 1. That way you have a key to look back to. Also, make sure to put the page at the bottom of each one so that if you have a question, you can always reference it. If you look at the example, it says roses in Asia, and so if someone was looking at their first resource, they might put resource A to do ABC for the resources, or they might do 1. 3, label each note card with the letter at the top, as I mentioned, or the number, and divide the note cards by topics. You'll quickly, as you go through the resources, realize that they're based on topics as you read about them. And as the example shows right here, difference in Hughes and then the Harlan Renaissance, and then his upbringing, and then his poetry, and then influence. There are different themes that developed. If you're organizing your paper and it's non-research form, a good way to do it is to write your main topic and create an idea cluster. All of the ideas that you're dealing with, start to write them down in bubbles and put arrows. And then the ideas that spur on from there are related, write more arrows and bubbles. For the example, TV and kids, they talk about advertisement, they talk about violence. And violence quickly spurred on murders and fighting. And then the idea that violence is normal. This is a great way if you're someone who has lots of different ideas and you have trouble organizing. Start with an idea cluster. It will really help you get started. If you're trying to create the outline, then the best way to do it is to take your note cards or your idea cluster and organize them into themes based on the main points and then supporting points. Each main point is followed by supporting points. So if the main point is, and if you can see over here in the video, the history of Ohio wines. So you would have that's the main point, and then you would give facts to back it up. If you use an idea cluster, write out the key points, which would mean the big bubbles, and then add those supporting points that circle around it. Those would be the supporting. Once completed, you have the core of your essay. So we'll watch this quick little video that will help explain some more details.
I'm Carrie Wellington for ExpertVillage.com, and today we're going over how to write a college paper. An outline is a really helpful way to organize your thoughts throughout the whole writing process, from the beginning when you're just brainstorming to the very end when you're editing. So let's take a look at an example of an outline. Here's a sample outline. It's not completely filled in, but it gives you the basic idea of how you might organize your thoughts for your paper. First, start with an introduction. The sample is about the growing market for wines in Ohio. So we would have a brief comment leading into the subject matter, and then our thesis about Ohio wines, whatever that thesis is, whether it's Ohio is the best place for wines or, it's a growing community. And then we'd go into the body, and you would organize this part based on the main points you want to make. So these headers with the Roman numerals would each be one of your main points. For instance, you might want to start with the history of Ohio wines, and then you have your supporting points. Wineries have been here for many